Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Neftal Samratul Jannah. I am from PBI Class B. Everyday life in the Soviet Union, the shopping run. The author Hedrick Smith was head of the New York Times office in Moscow from 1971 to 1974. The following passage is adapted from Mr. Smith's book The Russians, which was published in 1976 by Quadrangle or the New York Times Book Company. Number 1. I had heard about consumer shortages before going to Moscow, but only when we began to shop did the Russian consumers' problems really have meaning for me. Customers the world over wait in lines, but Soviet lines have a special quality of their own. Typically, the Soviet woman spends 2 hours a day in line, 7 days a week. Personally, I have known of people who stood in line 19 minutes to buy 4 pineapples and 3.5 hours to buy 3 large heads of cebek, only to find the cebeks were gone as they approached the front of the line. Lines can run from a few yards to nearly a mile, some friends for hours. Watch a line of people in Moscow signing up to Yugoy roads. The line lasted 2 days and nights and ran for across Eltrog and apartment developments. Number 2. In spite of all of this, the natural reactions of a Russian woman when she sees a line forming is to get in it immediately, even before she knows what is being sold. However, Soviet lines are more fluid than they appear in most stores. For example, shoppers must stand in not 1 but 3 lines for any purchase. The first to select a purchase and find out its price. The second to pay a cashier somewhere else in the store and get a receipt, and the third to go pick up the purchase and turn in the receipts. Number 3. But in a dairy store one morning, I found out that the game is both simpler and more complex than that. I went in to buy some cheese, butter, and bologna sausage, which were in the separate departments, each with its own line and lens. Number 4. Rather quickly thought I noticed that experienced shoppers were skipping the first stage. They know what most items cost, so they went directly to the cashier for their receipts. After studying bridge, I did that too. Then I went to the cheese line. The loungers probably able to get the words over with. First, I was in line less than a minute when the woman in front of me asked me to hold her place. She darted off to the butter and milk line. The cheese line was moving so slowly that she got her butter and milk and returned before we had advanced their fate. I decided to take the risk too, and I got back with my butter while the cheese line was still inching along. Number 5. Then I suddenly occurred to me that all over the store people were getting into line, holding place, leaving, returning. Everyone was using the cheese line as home base. That was why it was barely moving. It kept expanding in the middle, so I got the man behind to me to hold my place and went off to buy my bologna once again. It worked. It to me 22 minutes to buy butter, sausage, and cheese, but instead of being furious, I felt as if I have beaten the system. Number 6, this competitive shopping gives an atmosphere of tension to Russian's life. People barge into stores and bump to each other with face that is combative experience. You have to understand, said a keen, gray-haired person that for as long as we can remember, shopping has been a struggle. Life is a struggle. Number 7, there is hardly any effective advertising to help shoppers. Americans complain about the constant commercials in the United States, but they may reconsider if they were exposed to the consumer blackout in Russia, a typical Soviet. It maybe if you want to live to a rape old egg and be beautiful, modest, strong and truthful, drink tea. Most newspapers publish without ads. The shopper has no handy yellow pages or daily newspaper, supermarket or department store ads to help her decide where to shop. Number 9, bribery is widespread. Low paid 18 to 20 monthly sales clerks take portions of attractive items and sell them secretly to regular customers who have either left a bribe in advance or can be counted on to pay a high price on delivery, 10 to 15 rubles on a 16 ruble raincoat is standard in 1976. The ruble was equivalent to $1.40. Number 9, so common is this practice that the Soviet press is always complaining about it, but it doesn't do any good. Humor magazine also showed a department store employee promote items their customer in the leather goods. Hundred and 50 of them have been bought by store face for friends. One purse is invite you to visit the leather department to buy this purse. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.